What's up, everybody? This is MC Aggie St. James daily video vlog number 190. This is part 2 of my Exposing the Queen series. Now, I have been advised not to do this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna talk about it, expose the Queen, and that's what I'm doing. So, hopefully you have seen part 1 of this my Exposing the Queen series. If you have not, go back to yesterday evening's vlog, daily video vlog number 189, where I just delve right into it. So, now I have been researching the Queen, the Vatican, the Pope, all of them for many years. And it seems like with each year that passes by and I do more research, it just gets worse and worse and worse. So with that said, I'm going to just jump right into some more research I have done. Now, everything I'm about to say is true. And it's pretty disgusting. And it's just downright satanic, evil, and it's just really sad. This is not only having to do with the Queen, it also has to do with other elite figures, some of which we may never know their identity because it's that secret and they have that much power. So I'm going to just go into my notes, okay? Otherwise there's going to be a lot of pauses in this video and I don't want to have those. So there has been a premeditated plan for centuries by the Jesuits to ritually murder, kidnapped newborn babies and then consume their blood, born out of a twisted notion of deriving spiritual power from the lifeblood of the innocent and thereby assuring the political stability of the papacy in Rome. Every pope was expected to and did in fact participate in these monstrous rituals. Gotta ash my cigarette, hold up. There are Jesuit archival records that make reference to a child sacrificial cult known as the Knights of Darkness. The archives identify former Pope Benedict and Joseph Ratzinger. If you recognize that name and saw part 1 of this series, well, he's back again. As members of the Knights and as an SS chaplain's assistant at the Ravensbrück concentration camp in Germany, where they participated in sacrificial rites using children transported to the camp or kidnapped from political prisoners. The Ninth Circle Child Sacrifice Network, where the Queen, Prince Philip, Pope Francis, and many other elites were involved in. They were involved in the rape, torture, and murder of dozens of children. Survivors of these rituals describe newborn babies being chopped to pieces on stone altars and their remains consumed by the participants. The survivors during the 1960s period were forced to rape and mutilate other children and then cut their throats with ceremonial daggers. Former Pope Benedict, Joseph Ratzinger, Dutch Cardinal Alfrink, and Prince Bernard were amongst the many other royal and elite who participated. The more recent incidents in 2009 and 2010 involved exactly the same kinds of ritualized murder of newborn infants in rural Holland and Belgium. Now, that's all the notes I took. I actually researched that last night. And I needed to just stop the research because I needed to process all of that I just shared with y'all. I mean, you're talking about people who perform these satanic ritualized sacrifices and ceremonies on children. Now, if you're not naive to satanic rituals, satanic rites, and the elite, then none of this is going to shock you. In fact, you'll probably be aware of everything I just stated. But one thing you have to realize is that these things go on. This is real. And these sacrifices of not just newborns, not just children, but even of adults, it goes on daily. And it's the people that have the power, the funds, and the resources that do it, that are involved in these, that are participants of these ceremonial sacrifices. And so you've got to understand that. These are people who could buy anything and everything on this planet. These are people who are a part of the 5 to 6 bloodlines that control our planet. And the Rothschilds are at the top. They are the wealthiest family on this planet. They are worth over, or actually, their wealth is over $1 trillion. The Queen's wealth is over $1 trillion. So you have to understand that when you're in that position of power, what you say goes, so to speak. And you have to understand another thing, is that when you're involved in these things, these satanic things, you lose all sympathy. You lose all feeling of your conscience. There is none. It's like once you get to a certain level, once you've done so many different things, there's kind of like the saying, there's no turning back. I don't quite believe in that. I believe that anybody can change their life around. But when you are a part of these families, when you are one of these elite, it's like once you get to that certain level of darkness and you participate in these ceremonies and these rites and these sacrifices and these events, it numbs you, and you don't have feeling for a child that's about to be sacrificed before your eyes. You don't connect. There's no connection. You lose the connection that any human would have. You lose the sympathy. Any other person would see that as satanic, would see it as completely awful, right? It's like with these people, there's none of that. There's no connection of that there. It's void. It's empty. It's non-existent. So they can witness a child sacrifice right before their very eyes, and it'd be like they're just at home watching Harry Potter, or they're just at a movie eating popcorn, or they're just at their kid's baseball game. There's nothing to connect. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, as awful as these things are, and as awful as the people who participate in them are, you have to understand, to them, it's not. To them, by participating, they're gaining more power. They're gaining more secret knowledge. They're gaining more wealth, more say-so, so to speak, in politically or economically or whatever their field is, whatever they're involved in, whatever function it is. They, by participating in these events, they gain more power. They gain more say-so. They become higher up on the scale. And so you got to understand that to understand what I'm saying and what I'm revealing to you. So you got to be careful. But you know, I'm just trying to expose what I've discovered. And it's really sad because the people that I'm referring to is not just the Queen, but these are people in the entertainment industry. These are people in your government. These are people in the White House. These are people in the military. These are people on the news. These are people who some people idolize. Entertainers, actors, musicians, artists. So I don't want to take it too much into the entertainment industry, but I will say this, this is to expose the Queen, but like I said, not just the Queen, but the Pope, the Vatican as a whole. So that was the information I got last night. I just needed to kind of process all of that because it was talking about chopping up kids, and it was just like, woo, okay, I need to step back. You know what I mean? Like, it just was too much in a way to go any deeper at that point, so I needed to just kind of step back. So that's what I have for part 2. So there you go. And part 3 will be tomorrow evening, and that means I've got to delve even deeper. And none of it's good. I mean, it's all satanic. It's all horrible. But it's sad, because these people have so much power and so much wealth and so much authority. All of these children, all of these people who have been kidnapped, tortured, sexually abused, sadistically abused, murdered, their voices will go unheard. Their families will go without answers. And their whereabouts will continue to remain unknown. Because anybody who has ever tried to prosecute the Queen, the Pope, the Vatican, or anyone outside of that, even in the industry or even in politics, something always happens to that person and or those persons, and they go missing or they end up dead. So that's what's sad about all of this, is that all these people who have been murdered, who were possibly being held captive, forced into these sex rings, human trafficking. Suffice to say that the majority of the people, of the children that have gone missing in this world, really are still alive. They're just trapped, and they've been forced to go underground in these satanic cults and sex trafficking rings, and they transport these people on such a consistent basis that it is almost impossible to locate them, because every day they're being transported to another location. And if they're given an identity or a name, you can best believe the very next day it's going to be something different. It's not going to be the same identity. They're not going to have or go by the same name. Their appearances may even change. So that's what's sad to me, is that you've got these children, and like I said, they're not all kids, but you've got people who are being transported in these underground sex rings and transported in trains, transported by boat, transported by planes, transported to these politicians and to these elites. And they're nothing more than a toy. They're nothing more than an object to destruct and tear apart, torture, and murder. And these kids and these people, period. There's no telling how long some of them have been in these conditions or still are in these conditions. And if you were to look them up, they're still missing. And a lot of these people, kids, adults, children, a lot of them are drugged. So they do not remember a lot. A lot of them are drugged on a consistent basis. So their memory and their recollection of who they were before they were taken is not there. They're so drugged up all the time, they don't remember much. And they're confused. They're lost. They're scared. They don't know where they are, who they are. And so a lot of times they just go along with the game because they see no way out. They see no way out. And so they become desensitized to reality and are forced to contort to what their surroundings are now and what they have become. So, there's a documentary, and I'm going to have to find it for y'all, that shows that these human trafficking, that the human trafficking that's going on in this world all over, not just in the USA, all over, that there are actual trains that they take these kids and put them in, and they're chained in these trains and sent all over the world. So when you're drugged up like that for so long, kind of like that movie Taken, when the man tried to go find his daughter and she was drugged up on this bed that she had been getting raped on by hundreds of men. You have to understand that they're drugged up so much, on an everyday basis, that they don't have the physical strength or the mentality to leave. They're weak. Do you understand? So that's what's sad about all of this, is that this is going on and your government knows about it. Police know about it. The military knows about it. The White House knows about it. But the people that know about it and could do something about it are the very ones participating in it. So why would they? Why would they? They get something out of it. They get that vote, or they get that award. They get that Grammy. They get that power. They get that wealth. So each person has a price tag on them. So, you know, and this goes back so far that it's really difficult to try to stop it. I'm not saying it can't be done, because there are organizations out there who their sole purpose is trying to locate these children, women, and try to help them escape and bring them back to reality, and start to retrain them. And imagine the therapy that you would have to go through after spending years in these conditions. And those are just the ones that have survived. Let's not forget the ones that have already been murdered and taken out. And now their families will have absolutely no idea what happened to their child or their sister or their young brother, because there's no way of finding out unless you have that leeway to find out. And a lot of people don't. And when they do find that leeway, they're taken out as well. So this is really just to expose the Queen, expose the Vatican, and expose what's going on in this world right before your eyes as you go wait in line to buy that damn iPhone 6, or as you do your 20,000 selfies on Instagram, or while you're concerned about your life and how you couldn't get those shoes, so you had to settle for less. Society is so materialistic, and everything that people consume themselves with, you got to rethink, because this is sick. This world is sick. Our government is sick. Everything, anyone who has power in this world at that level is sick. And yet everybody, at least in America, is more concerned about Kim Kardashian and what the fuck she's wearing than what's going on, than what's actually going on. So open your eyes, because this world does not revolve around you. It ain't all about you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not all about you. So if you can make a difference in any way, why not do that? And that's all I'm trying to do is open up some people's eyes. I've had lots of people tell me that they had no clue that these things were going on. No clue. And I'm sitting here looking at them like, how could you not have any clue about what's going on? Are you that blind? Are you that naive? Or have you just not given a fuck? Because it hasn't concerned you. Because it hasn't knocked on your front door. You just, turn your cheek to it. So I'm all about trying to help people in these situations. But it comes at a cost, Like I said, I was advised not to speak anymore about the Queen. But I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to make it a long series. I'm not going to make it like a 12-part series. It's probably going to be a 3 to 4 part series at the most. And then I'm going to move on. I have no intention of trying to expose the Queen for the rest of my life. What I do is try to bring to y'all things that interest me and that should interest everyone on this planet. Because at the end of the day, this has to do with humanity. It doesn't have to do with the iPhone 6. It doesn't have to do with Kanye. It has to do with humanity. Where we are as a people, where we're headed, and it doesn't look great. So I just try to bring to y'all things that I discover, be it FEMA camps, chemtrails, the stuff that they put in our food, because my eyes are open. I'm not blind. I'm not naive to any of this. And I don't want anybody else to be either, if I can help it. Once again, at the end of the day, what you choose to believe is what you choose to believe. I don't care, because I know it's true. I know these things are going on. I don't have the funds to travel the world and rescue anybody. I don't have the resources. I don't have the contacts. But what I do have is a voice and a chance to at least get the word out there and wake up the eyes of a lot of people. And so that's what I'm doing. This is the end of my vlog for today. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. It's MC Aggie St. James, y'all. And I'm out.